Hello everyone, my name is Leo and with one of my last videos we have compared the Kemper Player versus the ToneX pedal, also with some scientific tests related to the overall profiles quality that you can get with both the systems, with quite surprising results, I think. In this new video I would like to focus more on the new Kemper Liquid profiling technology, verifying how good it is. For instance, checking out how it behaves, changing the gain and also the EQ knobs. I can already tell you that it is very good, but with one big issue, or opportunity for improvements, I would say. Let's start. I would start explaining what is the main goal of the liquid profiling technology. Then we will test it scientifically with a null test against a real tube amp, and at the end I will provide my 2 cents, also explaining which is the issue of this technology and which is the opportunity it has to be improved. If you have already seen my previous comparison ToneX versus Kemper Player, you can skip this section and jump here. So what is the liquid profiling technology? Well, one of the cons of the profiling procedures is that each profile is a detailed picture of an amp with specific settings. I mean, with a specific value for the gain, the EQ, etc. But if you change the original settings of the profile, the sound starts to differ from the behavior of the real amp. Kemper, with its liquid profiling technology, claims to have solved this problem. Basically, while profiling, you tell to the algorithm the original settings of the real amp you are profiling, also defining a reference predefined amp. This should allow the resulting profile to behave like the real amp, even if you change the settings of the profile. After the profile is done, obviously. Now the question is, how can we test it? Well, of course, with a null test. Let me explain. I have created a liquid profile of a Friedman Pink Taco Versus 2 coupled with a Creamback speaker. While creating the profile, I have set the Kemper to the exact same gain level of the amp at 6 o'clock and with the exact same EQ setting of the real amp, using a Friedman Brown Eye as a reference amp. Then I have recorded 3 testing tracks using the real amp, one with the same settings of the initial profile, one with half the gain, I mean with the gain at 3, and one with the gain and treble max out. Obviously, I have used a pre-recorded DI track in my computer to get the sample tracks from the real Friedman. In fact, I have sent the same DI track also to the Kemper, using the aforementioned created profile and changing the settings of the profile to match the ones of the real amp. So, in one take, I have used the profile with the same initial setting of the amp, then I have used half the gain, and then I have maxed out the gain and the treble. At the end, I have now 6 tracks, 3 for the real amp and 3 for the Kemper. I have matched the tracks in terms of overall volume. I mean, I have set them to the same integrated LUFS, and I have also aligned the tracks at the sample point level. How can we now compare each of the 3 tracks coming out from the amp with each of the 3 tracks in the Kemper? Well, with a null test, relying on the fact that when you play the same audio track together with its phase inverted counterpart, you obtain silence. We can apply the same principle in order to compare a profile with its real amp counterpart. When we play together the amp with its profile phase inverted, the lower is the resulting volume measured in LUFS, the higher is the fidelity of the profile. Let's now play each amp track with the Kemper Liquid profile. Okay, and now let's check out the results all together. I'm highlighting in the screen the results in terms of LUFS, and we can say that the Kemper Liquid profiling tech works. The results change, but I would say that they stay pretty similar each to the other. Very interesting. Therefore it works, and so what is the problem or the opportunity for improvements? Well, the problem is called competition. I have done the same test but with a profile created with the IK Multimedia ToneX platform. In the ToneX platform you can just profile one picture of the amp without telling the algorithm which are the original settings of the amp itself, as basically no liquid profiling tech is available for the ToneX. I have performed the same null tests with the ToneX as the ones done with the Kemper, and these are the results obtained. So as you can see, Kemper maintains pretty consistent results when you change settings, where ToneX deteriorates its performance much more than Kemper, but still overall performing better than Kemper. So you see, the problem is that the overall quality of the Kemper profiles is lower than the one of the ToneX, that of course, not using any kind of liquid profiling, deteriorates its performance when you departure from the original settings of the real amp, but overall maintaining a better performance compared to the Kemper. My personal opinions and my takeaways are the following, and of course these are just personal contributions, and I would like to hear your opinions and takeaway in the comment section, so that together maybe we can contribute to the improvement of our beloved guitar community. And who knows, maybe we can also help Kemper to improve its platform and to give us even better products. By the way, if you want to know my motivations and the reason why I make these videos, you can check out the video in the card above. So these are my takeaways. 1. Kemper profiles are done with all-in-one units, where ToneX profiles are done with software. Being software-based, you can use professional-grade audio interfaces and preamps. In my case, I'm using a 3000 bucks audio interface and an over 1000 buck preamp. I don't think that an all-in-one unit like the Kemper Stage can match the quality of this high-fidelity audio-graded gear. And by the way, in fact, when we use ToneX as a plugin in our computer, we obtain even better results than when we use the pedal. Second takeaway, the ToneX profiling procedure took me 5 hours on my M2 Mac Studio Ultra. 5 hours to train the neural network. 5 hours! The Kemper procedure took me around 15 minutes, 20 minutes. 5 hours versus 20 minutes using a top-notch computer. You may say, Kemper platform is more optimized, but I would add that probably relying on a CPU of a computer, you can have more opportunity to run more complex algorithms. You can provide more options to the user. For instance, you can let the user to choose the level of fidelity he or she wants to reach, etc. And finally, you can maybe use more complex algorithms. 3. With Kemper you have to refine the profiles, performing yourself some riffs, where ToneX uses predefined riffs, actually made to obtain the best results. And this approach is basically followed also by Neural DSP and NAM. This approach, in my opinion, avoids errors that the human who is profiling may make in the refining procedure, and allows the profiling process to be consistent profile after profile. 4. As far as I know, Kemper uses proprietary technologies to make the profiles, where I think IK uses common neural networks like the one used by NAM. These networks are typically based on open source tech, for instance used for AI speech generation or recognition, with many researchers that have contributed to their evolution, to the evolution of these networks. And we know how far has gone the AI neural network technology. I know that this is controversial, And as I said, I don't know what tech is using Kemper, but in the long term, it's hard to compete with an open source tech that has the contribution of thousands of researchers. As I said, this is more controversial because I don't have detailed info about Kemper tech, but this is maybe something I think it is worth considering. So what should do Kemper to keep up with the competition? First, in my opinion, Kemper could release a software profiling procedure. Actually, also Neural DSP should do it. I think that all-in-one units can never compete with professional audio gear in creating profiles. And let me say that the possibility to use your profile in your DAW is a game changer. It's so nice and easy. Second, the refining process should be automized, following the approach of NAM, IK, and Quad Cortex. It should be up to Kemper to define the best process to refine its profile, and not up to us users, because Kemper knows his technology and how make it to perform at the best. In my opinion, obviously. It's like buying a new car and then the car maker tells you, okay, it's up to you to set up how the carburetor has to be set. It's up to you to decide which is the best pressure for the tires. And you have also to check out if the speedometer is correct, etc. Well, in my opinion, it should be up to Kemper to provide us with the best refining procedure. Or maybe even better, Kemper should let us decide whether to use our own riff or to use the one Kemper considers the best ones. Third, and I know more controversial, Kemper should open its platform, sharing the algorithms and asking the contribution of all the researchers in the world. Will Kemper do something like this? I don't think so. Maybe the first 2 points may see an evolution, but the third, never. Okay, some of you may say, Leo, you are nobody. How can you ever imagine to suggest something to Kemper? Yes, I do agree. I'm nobody in the middle of nothing, lost in the Venetian countryside. But I'm just someone who loves Kemper units, who think that sometimes when you listen to different opinions and different points of view, you may improve, and who have a dream at the end. The dream to maybe improve somehow the guitar community with his passion and love for music and gear. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.